Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Patrick here. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the 5 top characteristics you need to be successful in sales. Whether you are someone who is starting their sales career or maybe you're in sales, I can teach you all the tactics of what to do and what to say. But in reality, to actually succeed in sales, you're gonna need personality. You're gonna need these certain characteristics or certain personality traits in order to succeed. And by knowing what these personality traits are and developing them, you're gonna be much more successful as a salesperson. So if you're ready for this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's go ahead and dive in. Confidence is key. Now, when you don't really know what you're doing, or when you're cold calling or you're sending a cold email, a lot of times we're not very confident in ourselves because we're not sure if the other person is going to positively respond. And that's why we are afraid of rejection. And the more we're afraid of rejection, the more we don't really want to reach out to other people, right? Now, reverse the script, and let's say you're very confident in yourself, you're confident in your skills and your scripts and everything like that, or you're gonna continue to push forward even when people say no. What I would do is I would actually categorize confidence and combine that with courage, right? Courage is really doing the thing that you're supposed to do even though you're scared on the inside. Because a lot of times we just need to pick up that phone one more time or send that cold email, but we don't do it because we're not confident in ourselves. And even when we're actually talking to somebody over the phone, if you're not confident in selling your products and services, and if you're not confident in actually delivering value to your customers, well, it's gonna show in the way you speak. If you are not confident in your product and service, how can you expect your customer to be confident in you? And so that's why having that confidence and really just translating that confidence or transferring it to the other person is gonna be extremely important in succeeding in sales. Now, the next quality you need to actually succeed in sales is actually having good people skills and communication skills. And as you know, if you want to be great at sales, you need to be able to communicate with people. After all, sales is really just communicating with others, whether it's written, video call, or meeting the actual person in person, and really transferring confidence that they should buy your product and service. Now, the key to actually succeeding when it comes to being a good communicator is actually not learning how to be the best smooth talker, but actually becoming the best listener. So from my experience working in Silicon Valley and Oracle and at startups and even running my own business, I found that being a good listener is really the key to sales. It's not about you pitching, doing this grand, amazing pitch and getting people to buy. It's really just you understanding what problems someone's experiencing, making them feel heard, and then letting them know how you might be able to help them. So it doesn't have to be this flashy, pushy thing. It's really just listening and solving the problems of others. But to really get to that level, you really need to be listening 80% of the time and speaking only 20% of the time and being able to control that, and you'll be fine in sales. Now, the next characteristic that you are going to need is assertiveness. So in sales, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of rejection, you're gonna deal with a lot of mean people and a lot of nice people as well, right? Because of that, you have to be assertive in what you want. You can't just be like, that was a good meeting, let me know when you wanna buy, because chances are they're not gonna reach back out to you. You have to keep pushing forward, you have to keep pinging them, whether it's an email or cold calling them over and over until they actually buy your product and service. Now, that doesn't mean you're gonna be super annoying or you're gonna bother them and show up at their house and be like, hey, you didn't sign the contract. What that really means is that you need to be persistent in a respectful and business savvy way. You have to create situations where you can keep becoming in contact with the other person without being too needy or clingy. Otherwise, they're not gonna buy your product and service and find you just annoying, but you have to keep pushing. And that really could be just calling them once a week to make sure the contract is signed or sending them a follow-up email and things like that. Don't let them just walk away and not sign a deal. You know, just keep showing up over and over and over, and you're gonna get a percentage of people that actually buy. Now, the next characteristic that you're gonna need is persistence. So in sales, like I said before, you're gonna face a lot of rejection. And so you have to be able to have that emotional stability to push forward and forward and forward. So it's like, how many cold calls are you gonna make before someone gets on the line? How many cold emails do you have to send before somebody responds? And how many sales meetings and demos do you have to do before someone actually wants to buy your product and service? You can do everything you can to increase your odds of success, but at the same time, you gotta know that not everybody will say yes. And that's why, in some senses, sales is a numbers game. And most of the time, the numbers are not gonna be in your favor, and you're gonna get no most of the time, which is totally okay, because if you get 10 no's and you get 1 yes, it makes it all worth it. But to actually be able to get the rewards and the fruits of actually generating sales, you have to be persistent and push through the no's. Now, the final characteristic that you are going to need to be successful in sales is adopting a growth mindset. Now, where I see most salespeople fail is actually when they try a technique or they watch one of my YouTube videos and they try something and say, oh, Patrick, oh, it doesn't work. I give up in sales. Nobody likes me. My product sucks. That's really just a negative attitude. What you want to do is reverse it and really have a growth mindset. You have to understand that no matter what you learn online or from a trainer or whatever, whether it's from me or somebody else, not everything is going to work for your specific situation. And I see it all the time in my YouTube comments. People are like, oh, Patrick, I don't think that's going to work and this and that. I tried it didn't work. The reality is a lot of the techniques that I teach actually work for me, but maybe it doesn't work for you, for your specific industry, for your specific product, or maybe it's just the way you do it, right? And how you actually execute and communicate. Regardless of whether something works or not, you have to adopt the growth mindset and really just respect the fact that a lot of the things that you're gonna try may not work on the first go. By failing a few times and stumbling on your feet, what you're gonna be able to do is understand, okay, this didn't work, but what can I do differently to make it better? And that's really adopting that growth mindset, because at the end of the day, that's really the game of life, right? It's like you try something, you do it, it doesn't work, you try something else, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and you go again and again and again, and basically it's a never-ending game of self-improvement. If you really wanna be great at sales, respect the fact that many things you do will not work, and really just have that growth mentality of accepting it and just trying to improve day after day. Eventually, if you get a little bit better every day, you eventually be a lot further than you were, let's say, a month ago or a year ago or 2 years ago, right? It's just that compound interest in your growth and your skill level when it comes to sales. So those are gonna be the 5 characteristics that I feel you absolutely need to become successful in sales. If you wanna learn more about becoming a salesperson or succeeding in sales, make sure to check out my masterclass, Sales Legacy. Link is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. My name is Patrick Dang, and I'll see you guys in the next one.